Welcome to the Knights of the Braille podcast. It doesn't have a name yet. We've asked you guys for names and you had a bunch of really good ones. But before we get into that, my name's Jim and I'm joined by Richard.
Hey everybody, I'm Richard, and I'm pretty sure you've heard me and gotten annoyed by me on the Curse of Strahd campaign with the unknowns, but Jim was nice enough to invite me here. Personally, I think he felt sorry for me, but we'll get on with the episode here.
Well, Richard's here because he's a nice fella and I didn't want to do the podcast alone. One of the co-hosts, and Richard is a pretty friendly guy, so he'll make up for me being a nasty man. So in the podcast, we're not sure what we're doing yet. The pair of us have had a few ideas, but we're going to float it out to you guys to give us feedback on what you'd like to hear, whether it's D&D stuff, accessibility stuff, or just talking about personal stuff. Like, I'm sure in the next episode we'll maybe talk about ourselves and our journey through vision loss, so that you can get an understanding where we're at, and maybe it'll help you guys. But Richard, what's your thoughts on what we're going to do with the podcast?
I think it's a really good idea. First and foremost, mostly because I guess I'm on here, and I enjoy that British accent a lot.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, I think it's a good thing because up until now it's mostly been just campaign stuff, and I think you've had a few episodes where you had help somebody create a character sheet, and and that's good. I really like that. Granted, I will admit that I listened to just a little bit of it, and then it's like I already know how to create one, so and everybody has their own different way of doing it. I'm of the opinion, find what works for you. But I was talking with Jim over the past week or so, and I'd like to put some accessible apps, that can help you play the game. And they also work for other tabletop role playing games as well. And I know I use an iPhone, and I think the majority of us probably do because they are so accessible straight out of the box.
Yeah.
And I found a lot of apps that do work, and then I'll freely admit that I get quite upset whenever an app that sounds really awesome doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think, like,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, today, we're gonna have a short podcast. We had a few technical issues, but each week, like as Richard says, we're gonna cover a few topics. We're gonna cover maybe an accessible app, maybe some role-playing game stuff, D&D stuff, blind community stuff, and Knights of Braille stuff as well. I'll probably try to start each episode with updates on what's happening, to be transparent. In fact, if it's all right, Richard, I'll go over a couple of things that are happening at the moment.
By all means.
Okay, so next month, November 2020, I'm going to be running workshops for the Canadian National Institute for the Blind on our Discord, and it is to introduce blind people to D&D. So it's going to be 3 workshops for total beginners, so that should be interesting. And then come late November, early December, we're going to have an accessible version of the rulebook for the game Coriolis up, which you can get through our website and Discord. And I'm sure there's other stuff. Oh, while we're on it, Dots RPG.
That needs to go on the soundboard. That definitely needs to go on the soundboard right
there. We've got a soundboard which we will abuse throughout it. I've even got random sound effects on here for us to use throughout when we fail at things. But yeah, Dots RPG are looking to get people to test their new Braille dice. So you can get on that by emailing them. So their email for this particular project is hiddentrials@.rpg.org. That's hidden trials@dotsrpg.org. Sounds like they're going to send you some braille dice to try out, like the new design. So yeah, if you're interested, definitely jump on that.
Well, I would in a heartbeat, except I am not your typical blind person. I don't know how to read Braille. I know. I don't. There's too many apps and websites, and it's like, nah, I'll let Jaws do it for me.
Absolutely, man. A lot of people just do digital.
It seems to be quicker for me, but hey, and like I've told you before, you do you, whatever you feel most comfortable with.
Absolutely, man.
And sitting here listening to you talk, I got to thinking, something else that we could possibly do out here is Discord help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I had a lot of trouble in the beginning, but it has gotten a lot more accessible.
Yes.
So that may be like a little segment, basically, if we don't have anything else to talk about, because I hate talking about myself, and I'm sure Jim is the same way because he's such a nice guy as well.
That is fake news, mate.
Well, if you talk to the people who are on the Wednesday campaign, I'm like the biggest jerk there is.
It's because you're the DM. You've got to hate the DM.
I mean, I try to save their character. I try, but they just want to die. I don't know why. But I think the Discord help, could be something that a lot of people would find useful too.
Yeah, I just made a note there. The sound of me typing was me writing, begin next session with Discord advice. So we will do that after our weekly update. And then, let us know, guys, if there's anything you want us to cover, any segments, any particular things you want us to talk about. Even if you want Richard and I to talk about how we create a character step by step, one episode, we're happy to do that. We can even create one together. I mean,
Oh, that works for me. I want to, because I got an idea for a one shot that I got to play in a couple of weeks or so, a week and a half. I'm going to create a sorcerer who has trouble speaking. He has like not making fun of anybody, Jim, because you know how I am. He has like a cleft palate or whatever, so he can't enunciate correctly. So every time he casts a spell, it's like the somatic part.
That's a great idea.
I think it's going to be fun. And usually a sorcerer goes with like charisma as their highest ability. It's going to be his lowest.
That's when you've been playing D&D for a while, when you give yourself a disadvantage because you just want to see what happens.
I think it's going to be interesting, though.
Yeah, you're gonna cast spells, and it's hopefully gonna work.
Be like Timmy off of South Park, if anybody's ever watched that.
I've got us a soundboard from South Park. Richard, are you ready?
Oh yes. That's what we are, Jim, and that's what Knights of the Braille are. They're hot, 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 hot. But on a slightly serious note, you will notice that I laugh and joke a lot. So if you don't like laughter, then y'all might want to ask Jim to kick me off of here.
Well, we're gonna get serious sometimes. Like I'd really like to cover, ours and hopefully other people's journey through vision loss. Just for anyone that's struggling out there, to maybe, give them some hope and sense of direction as well.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you'd like to go first or if you'd like me to go first, but I have no problems talking about it.
Yeah.
Whenever we want to start that.
I'll tell you what. Next week we're already packing a lot into next week, but we can get into that next week. But why don't we introduce ourselves and our vision and maybe some interests as well, long walks on the beach, stuff like that. Richard, why don't you go first?
I noticed the long walks on the beach part since I was on vacation last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been blind for, let's see, it's 2020 now. So this year this November 25th will be 20 years I have been blind. Been playing D&D except for this whole 2020 year, since October of last year. So this is kind of like my 1 year anniversary. Been
Oh.
Yeah, it's special. I got absolutely nothing but a sunburn. Uh, uh,
Well, now that you're
and
back from vacation, you're no longer Florida man.
I know it's like I'm back to peaches and peanuts. um, but I enjoy playing, having a good time, and despite what I tell the group on Wednesday nights, I do enjoy being the DM. But Jim can attest, it's a lot of fun being the DM, but a lot of fun on the other side of the screen as
Oh,
well,
so much more fun.
because they screw up your plans. Now it's your turn to screw up their plans. You know, I enjoy playing on the computer, wrestling, baseball, football, typical, I guess, guy things.
Yeah.
Um, and I've started writing some short stories.
Ooh.
Uh, yeah, I've let Jesse read them, and he laughed at me, but that's all right. No,
But
he
he's a
said it was
friend, he
really
can
good.
laugh.
Yeah, he actually said it was really good. So, if it turns into anything, it does. If not, it gets the ideas out of my head because they intend to torment you from time to time.
Well, man, I'm
Uh,
I'm happy to read anytime. I'm mostly literate. I mean,
well, I am from South Georgia, so it's probably not spelled right.
do
It's
you write the way you
probably not.
talk?
Oh, yes, I do. That's why my English teacher in college kept giving me like C's. She's like, I feel sorry for you. I was like, why? I was like, I'm writing how I talk. She said, I know. That's why I feel sorry for you. Yeah, is the second worst class I had in college. The first one was math. I could
Oh
get an
man.
A or A plus in programming or SQL, no problem. Come to math, like 45, 50. I took all the remedial math courses.
Oh
I was like,
man.
look, we got a problem here. You give me a 70 and pass, or I will see you next semester. I got a 70 and passed. But man, I just love living life, joking, having fun, fishing on the beach, forgetting to put on sunburn. I mean,
Yeah.
suntan lotion and sunblock, and swimming in the ocean and getting a sea cucumber that'll come up and hit you like in between the legs, and like what and then you just cast it and throw it because you're not sure what it is.
We
But
should we
that's
should point out as well, Richard was not on a crowded beach in Florida like those crazy pictures everyone sees. He was on a nice, quiet little beach, fishing, minding his own business, hitting sea cucumbers.
I wish I'd have kept it, but at the time it was like I didn't know what it was. But yeah, there was two people on our part of the beach. That was me and my mom, and I was out there like a little 5-year-old digging in the sand hunting shells. But that's enough about me because I can talk for a while. Let's hear what this British Canadian has to say to us. Oh, assuming
Yeah.
that you are a British Canadian, I mean, you
Yeah.
know.
Uh, I'm Jim. I'm obviously from England. Um, I moved to Canada like 12 years ago now. And I've been legally blind for 7 years. So I have some vision. So I use a combination of heavy magnification and voiceover, JAWS, stuff like that. Um, Before I was legally blind, I was a plumber, actually, funnily enough. But
Did not see that one.
yeah,
Didn't see that one.
I know, the friendly British plumber coming over to hook up your toilet to your shower. Um, I've been playing D&D for a few years. I actually stopped for a while. I played when I was a teenager. I stopped for years and started Knights of the Braille because I wanted to play again and I wanted other people who had trouble seeing so that we were on, an even playing ground. And I originally was doing wargaming when I was younger, like Games Workshop. Obviously, that's not really an option now. But in my spare time, Knights of the Braille, I love music, like keeping up to date with music. I like a few video games, although I'm limited in what I can play now. and listening to audiobooks, man. Loving
Oh,
audiobooks.
oh yes, Audible.
Yeah,
Wonderful, wonderful.
it is the best. Actually, I've been listening to some uh like Games Workshop stories on there, which are really good for
Oh,
sci-fi and fantasy.
you have to
Um,
send me some of them titles in.
yeah, man. And actually, the best book I've read in the last year, which is kind of D&D related, is Kings of the Wild. That was a really good one about this band of adventurers who are old and all worn out and going through divorces and everything, and then they get back together to reform the band and go back on the road to save one of their daughters, and it's pretty funny.
Ah, I got to check that one out then.
Yeah, it's like
So,
an old rock band getting back together, and they're all washed out and washed up.
oh yeah, I know what you mean. Vanilla Ice. Anyway, uh,
He's a contractor now, isn't he?
he is. But I went to a concert of his last year. I had looked forward to it for years since Ice Ice Baby. You know that whole album came out.
Yeah.
I got there, and this is a quote from me, and you can ask anybody that was there with me. He got on stage and said, "All right, stop, collaborate," and that's all he sang. Everybody else sang the rest of it. He just got quiet. I was
Yeah.
so pissed off.
He's
You
had some
know,
problems though, hasn't he?
he has nothing like MC Hammer, but that's a
Well, man,
totally.
if it wasn't MC Hammer not paying taxes and stuff.
uh, but Jim brought up the whole music thing, so I hope you don't mind. What's your favorite band?
Oh, of all time, my favorite band is The Clash, and at the moment, my favorite modern band is called Idols, Idles. They're a punk band as well. What about you?
Ah, okay. Favorite band of all time would have to be DC Talk. It's a Christian like rock band. Really got started like about '95 or so. Really popular, and they had been on a hiatus for 20 plus years,
Hmm.
and did a reunion tour on a cruise last year. And yours truly got to hear them in concert.
Oh, you were on the cruise.
I was,
Oh, that's awesome.
and like I tell everybody, man, I got teary eyed, started crying because not really like boo hooing, but getting to see something that you never thought you'd get to witness. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
I'm an emotional guy though.
Yeah, man.
Um, Favorite modern band, man, I say stuck in the '90s. So I guess the most current one for me would probably have to be Nickelback.
Oh yeah, you're a
Uh,
Nickelback.
uh,
See, here in Canada, if you like Nickelback, people make fun of you.
that's all right because we don't like Canadians anyway.
Yeah, we're awful. Actually, it's
But
funny you mentioned Christian rock because growing up in Britain, I never knew about Christian rock, and then moving to North America, I was reading up about it, and it was like it's one of the biggest money makers in the music industry is Christian rock.
it is. I really love the message in most of the songs, and and like most things, they can overplay a song, and it's like you don't want to be hypocritical and say, "God, that song is getting on my nerves" because of the message
It's
behind it.
about like God and stuff, so you just look terrible.
Yeah, but I'm just that way. If a song's getting on my nerves, whether it's Christian rock, a gospel song, or something even by my favorite band, it's like, hey, come on, y'all playing that song enough.
I guess
You know,
they've kind of got you there because if you turn around, you're like, I don't like this song. They can be like, oh, you don't like Jesus, and you're like, oh, damn. I go.
yeah. Oh, I love Jesus, but I hate that song. Uh, but it's all good, and I know we got places to go here in a few minutes. What's your favorite book then, since you love to read, or favorite
Oh,
series?
I. Oh, that's a good question. You go first.
Oh,
I'm gonna think.
oh, geez, now I got to
You
think of
put
one real
yourself in it.
quick. I really, even though they can be kind of smutty, and our friend Jesse will make fun of me for reading them, I really enjoyed the Anita Blake series by Laurel K. Hamilton. The most recent one, Sucker Punch, got back to her actually being a detective or an investigator in it.
Oh
So
yeah.
I really enjoyed that, and it's between that one and the Harry Dresden series
Oh,
by
you
Jim
mentioned that the
Butcher.
other week.
Yes, just got through reading the most current one on Audible. I had pre-purchased it, and probably the best one in the series so far for me. But at the same time, something bad happened. It's like, no, no. Every time I get close to one of you guys, you know, he goes and writes them off.
It's like Game
But
of Thrones, man.
I, I never got into that. Never.
There's a dog barking in the background. I apologise. That'll happen every
I,
now and then.
I was hoping it wasn't you. I mean,
I haven't had my kibble yet, so
oh
kicking
gosh.
on. Yeah, we're gonna go soon because we've actually got a D&D session to jump into. We were a bit late starting today, but I think my favourite book would be I Am Legend. I really like that book. It's very
Oh
different to the movie,
yes.
and the reason I liked it so much is because it was the first book I read where the main character is fighting monsters, and then at the end they realise that they are the monster, and I really like that
Yes.
turn on it.
That was an excellent book.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. But
So
go ahead.
yeah, I guess we'll end it there this week. We will routinely go off on tangents and talk about stuff completely unrelated to anything. So please prepare for that. Please let us know what you'd like us to cover. We'll try to structure it somewhat, but we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. And yeah, maybe we'll have some music next time. Maybe we will have a theme song in the future. For now, though, to please Michael and his suggestion of John Cena, we're going to end with music from the man of the hour. Thank you, John Cena, for everything you've done for mankind.
And since we can't see you, we'll hear you later.